Hello everyone, my name is Lance Capel. This is Grand Canyon University, and this class is EDU 548, and this assignment is Planning for Instruction Lesson Plan Template. The topic that I chose to discuss is organic chemistry. That's the content area. The lesson is the topic, and the title is demystifying molecules and the introduction to functional groups. I just wanted to get into the objectives if I were to teach my organic chemistry class. So some of the learning objectives would be first, students will be able to define the term functional group in organic chemistry. Students will be able to identify common functional groups, for example, alcohol, alkene, alkynes, alkanes, based on their chemical formulas. Students will be able to explain how functional groups influence the properties of organic molecules. Next, we're going to talk about the anticipatory set. The goal of this section, basically, first we're going to talk about, we're going to show a slide or a picture of everyday objects. We're going to start by showing a slide or a picture of something familiar like medications, plastics, and food items, something that the students can identify with. Makes the learning process easier for them to grasp. When it's something that you've or something that you've seen, that will stick out in your memory. And then next, ask students what these objects have in common. Some possible answers for this would be they are all made of chemicals. Next, I would have a bridge to organic chemistry. Explain that all these objects are made up of organic molecules, which are carbon-based molecules. Next, we're going to talk about instructional strategies. First, we're going to lecture with visuals, and we'll do that for about 10 minutes. Introduce the concept of functional groups. Explain how functional groups are specific arrangements of atoms within a molecule that give the molecule unique properties. Second, interactive activity. Again, this will last about 10 minutes. Project images or models of common functional groups, for example, alcohol, alkenes, alkanes on the screen. Divide the class into small groups and provide them with molecular models or drawing tools. Each group should build a model or draw molecules containing a specific functional group assigned by the teacher. And then lastly, class discussion, which again should last for about 10 minutes. First, invite groups to share their models or drawings, facilitate a discussion about how the functional group influences the overall structure of the molecule. And next, we're going to discuss learning engagement activities in the classroom. First, I would have the students engage in basically creating a polymer rubber ball experiment. And I looked this experiment up, and basically in small groups, I would have the students make bouncing balls made of polymer. This activity demonstrates an interesting chemical reaction, primarily between the glue and the borax. Glue contains the polymer polyvinyl acetate, which cross-links to itself when reacted with borax. And that's would be one of the small group activities I would have the students engage in. Another is making medicine. I didn't have listed there, but that was one thing I've also studied when I was doing my undergrad and also doing my postgrad studies right now. And then next is the assessment, formative or summative. First is the exit ticket. Distribute a short exit ticket with 2 questions for the class. First would be defining a functional group in organic chemistry, provide an example of a functional group, and explain how it might affect a molecule's properties. And then next is the differentiation strategies. First, for visual learners, provide students with color-coded models or drawings to highlight functional groups. Kinesthetic learners allow students to physically manipulate molecular models during the activity. And lastly, struggling students in the classroom offer a pre-made model with a highlighted functional group for them to analyze during the activity. And then lastly, the closure. Closure should last about 5 minutes. Briefly summarize the key points about functional groups, relate the concept of functional groups to real-world applications. For example, how a specific functional group might determine whether a molecule is a medicine or a fuel. And that sums up what would be my classroom setup for the learners in my classroom if they were to take my organic chemistry class. And I hope you found that my presentation interesting. And thank you for your time.